Good day, students. In this clip, we're gonna review how to graph parent sine and cosine functions and analyze the resulting graph. So let's write down the title of this clip: graphing parent sine and cosine functions. All right, so let's take a look at this example right here. It says graph each function on the given interval, state where it's increasing, decreasing, with the maximum and min. Alright, so we have y cosine x. We're going from negative pi over 2 all the way to pi. Alright, so negative pi over 2 is where you're going to start your graphing from. This is your starting point. And pi is where you're going to stop. Okay? You do not have a line on this inequality. That means you have an open circle. It's going to be an open circle here. And your ending points, you have a line on this inequality. That means it's going to be a closed circle. So you're going to start, you're plotting your points, you're plotting your graph with an open circle, and then you enter the closed circle. Okay, so how do we graph the actual curve, y equals sine x? So let's do a real quick review. Remember sine, the sine graph starts with an S, as like the letter S, right? So you start from the center, and then one period is like an S, like that, all right? That is for positive sine. If you have negative sine, it's just like the same graph, but it's upside down. Instead of the S going up, you have the S going down like this. So that is one period of a positive sine, and that is one period of the negative sine. Okay? And then for the positive cosine, it starts with a C, so it's going to be like a cup. Okay? If you have a cup opening upwards like this for the positive cosine, that's one period. That's what one period looks like. For the negative cosine, you have a cup that's upside down, like this. So that is one period of a negative cosine, and that's one period of a positive cosine. Alright? So these are the templates that's going to guide the plotting of our points. Okay, so first thing we're going to do on this grid, we're going to draw the maximum and the minimum. Alright, so we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 points up is from the center to be our maximum. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It could be any number you want, just make it long enough. So what is the number that we're going to assign to the maximum? What is the number in front of the sign? There's a 1 there, so our maximum is going to be a 1. Okay? And then we're going to go down 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The opposite of 1 is negative 1, so you're going to go down negative 1. Alright, so that is going to be your minimum. You have a max and a min, and our center is going to be our x-axis. Alright, so let's go ahead and put in the points. Alright, since we're graphing the positive sign, we're going to use this as our guide right here. We're going to have an S. So starting from the center, we're going to start from the center. Oh yeah, we need to calibrate the x-axis first, so let's calibrate our x-axis. The period, since this is a parent function, the period is going to be 2 pi. There's a 1 in front of the x, so that means that 2 pi is going to be divided by 1, so you're going to end up with 2 pi anyway. So your period is going to be 2 pi. So how do we break our tick marks? We have 4 quadrants, so you divide your period by 4. So 2 pi over 4, you have pi over 2. So every tick mark is going to be pi over 2. 4 of them is going to be 2 pi. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's double it. Let's use 2 tick marks instead. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so this, since the whole 4 tick marks is 2 pi, that means half of it is going to be pi, and every tick mark is going to be pi over 2. So this is pi over 2, and after pi, we add pi to pi over 2, we have 3 pi over 2. Okay, this is a standard calibration. Going to the left, you do the opposite, negative pi over 2, negative pi, 4 tick marks, negative 3 pi over 2, that's the third one, and then the fourth one is negative 2 pi. Okay, so this is always how you break it up. Okay, so let's put in the points. We're going to be doing our S, going upwards since this is positive, so you start from the center, put a point to the center, go to the max, from the max back to the center, from the center to the minimum, and then minimum back to the center. Okay, those are the points all the way to 2, 5. And then going back, we can just back, we're going to go the opposite direction, go down. Okay. Now when we're connecting these dots, we're starting from negative pi over 2, so I don't even need other dots. If I put other dots here, it's going to look just like this. But when I'm connecting, I'm going to start from negative pi over 2. Alright? So negative pi over 2 is our starting point. So we're starting from here. We're going to connect the dots. Since it's open circle, we can just make this open while we're at it. Make this an open circle. Alright? And then we're stopping at pi, which is a full circle. Make that a full circle. Alright, so how do we draw the graph? Remember, when you're at the center, you go straight. When you're at the max or min, you curve. Alright? So you're going to curve out of your min. Curve out of the min. And then it straightens out towards the center. Straight out of the center, and then you curve as you approach the maximum. Curves out of the maximum. And straightens, and you hit the center. And there goes your graph. Okay? There goes sine x from negative pi over 2 all the way to pi. Alright? Okay, so let's analyze this creation that we have just done. Where is it increasing? Where is it decreasing? Where is the maximum? Where's the min? So it's increasing where the ant is going up. So where's the ant going up? It's going up from negative pi over 2 all the way to pi over 2 because it's walking up, 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 uphill, and then it reaches the maximum. Okay? So it's increasing from negative pi over 2 all the way to pi over 2. Alright, the reason I have a bracket parenthesis here is because you have an open circle. Alright, where is it decreasing? It's decreasing from the maximum all the way to pi, because the ant is facing down and is walking down, down, down. So it's decreasing from here to here. So from pi over 2 all the way to pi. Alright? This is supposed to be a parenthesis also. So it's increasing on this interval. At pi over 2 is at the maximum, and then it's decreasing from pi over 2 all the way down to pi. Okay, so look here, it's up, 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 and down, 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 down. Okay? Alright, so where's the maximum? The maximum is the highest point. The maximum here is the highest point, which is 1. So the maximum is y equals 1. The minimum is the lowest point. How low does it go? It gets really low, but it gets close to negative 1, but it never touches it, so it's none. Okay? Anytime your lowest point is an open circle, then you do not have a lowest point. So there you have it. Okay? Now let's take a look at the second example using the same principle. We're going to draw y equals negative cosine x from negative pi to 3 pi over 2. So remember, cosine is the cups. Positive cosine, you have a cup facing up. That's the first period. For negative cosine, you have a cup facing down. That's a negative cosine period, okay? Alright, so in this case it's negative, so we're going to be using this upside down cup to generate our points. So first of all, let's do the max and the min. Let's go 7 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to generate the maximum, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to generate the minimum. What is the number for max and min? There's a 1 in front here, so we're going to put a 1 on the top, and then a negative 1 for the min. Okay, max and min, this is your center, 0. Alright, how do we calibrate? There's a 1 in front of the x, so our period is going to be 2 pi. If you divide 2 pi by 1, it's still going to be 2 pi, because there's a 1 here. So what we're going to do is divide that into our 4 quadrants. If you divide 2 pi into the 4 quadrants, you end up with pi over 2. Okay, because you divide this by 2, it goes away, you divide this by 2, you get 4. Pi over 2 is going to be your period. Your marks. Okay, so 4 tick marks will give you 2 pi. Each of them will be pi over 2. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 2 pi. So each tick mark will be pi over 2, right? So this is pi over 2. The next one is 2 pi over 2, which is pi. And the next is 3 pi over 2. Alright, we're going to do the opposites, going in the other direction. This is negative pi over 2. This is negative pi. and then this is negative 3 pi over 2, and this is negative 2 pi. That's a calibration of your negative x. Alright, so how do we put our points? Since we're graphing the cosine, cosine is going to be the cups, but since it's negative, our cup is going to be upside down. So let's put in the points. So you're going to start from the minimum here. Minimum, center, maximum. You can stop right here. Why are we stopping there? Because this is where we're supposed to stop. And since we have a bracket here, this means closed circle. It's going to be a closed circle. Alright, and this is where we're going to start. And this is going to also be a closed circle. Alright, so let's go ahead and go back up all the way to negative pi over 2. So we're just going to back up here and stuff, okay? So we're going to connect the dots from negative pi over 2 all the way to 3 pi over 2. Remember, you go straight at the center, you curve at the max or min, okay? So you're going to go straight out of this, straight and a curve towards the minimum. You curve out of the minimum, and you go straight towards the center, through the center. Straight out of the center, curve at the max, curve out the max, and then straight to the center, and there you have your graph. Okay? Alright, this is negative cosine x from negative pi over 2 all the way to 3 pi over 2. Now let's analyze the result we just generated. Okay? Where is it increasing? Where is our ant going up? So our ant is going down, down, down here. But from this point all the way to that point, the x value for the increasing is 0 all the way to pi. You see how the ant is going constantly going up, up, up. So all this from here to here is increasing. Okay? So increasing is from 0 all the way to pi. Okay? Because on those x values the ant is gaining height, altitude. Alright? How about decreasing? For decreasing, it's decreasing on two separate intervals. Okay, so it's decreasing here, going down, 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 and it's also decreasing here, down, down, down. What are the x values? This one goes from negative pi over 2 all the way to 0, and then we're going to unite it with the other one, which is from pi all the way to 3 pi over 2. So that's what it's decreasing. Okay? Alright, now let's figure out where our max and min points are, and I'll basically do that. Alright, I guess here is a graph. Max is a high point, min is a low point. So where is the highest point in our graph for a maximum? Hopefully it's not an open circle. The highest point is this point right here, and it is 1. Maximum is 1. Your minimum is your lowest point. Minimum is how low does the graph go? It goes as low as negative 1, and it's on an open circle, so there goes your minimum. Okay? So that's basically how you graph the trig functions on specified domains.